Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Not good!
We don't seem the least bit concerned. I don't really see how that's too heavy, like... Nah, it's smirk. Like, no, that eye's already gone. I twist your arm.
I picked up a few new moves.
I could see that.
Huh. It doesn't feel right to shoot an unarmed man. But I'll get over it. Eva!
No bullets. Damn. There's a reason for that.
What do you say to one last showdown?
I have a bullet.
Yeah, all right.
Don't know why I said that. Huh? He's like, no, this is how you do it. I forgot I was meant to watch. Probably like, screwed up. Is it the same gun every time, or is it just random? Because
what's your
I
name?
forget.
Snake.
No, not that name. You're not a snake, and I'm not an ocelot. We're men with names. My name is Adamska. What's yours?
And that is the instant.
John.
That is the instant. Like if
Very
you
well,
throw enough,
John.
it's the instantly you know who that is.
Plain name. But I won't forget it.
Spoilers. He was Adam the whole time. Okay, it's not
Come
spoilers.
on!
You guys already know about it, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's this one or not, but we'll go with this one. And draw. I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead. Fuck. It's a blank.
It's a blank.
Yep.
Oh, that
There's
was
a
fun.
reason. The banter. See you later.
Till we meet again, John.
Oh, you will. You most certainly will.
Give me a hand!
And now he's concerned about it. One of the agents is gone. They should be dead.
Come on, pull up!
Excuse me. CCP-7. I couldn't read it. It's amazing that that's the only time you use the snow camouflage as well. I've just noticed.
We made it.
Yeah, we sure did.
You know, if you hadn't had this, like, the snow camouflage, how would you would have done, like, killed the boss? I guess in the whole, like, if we're being real thing, they probably had a CQC fight, and he finally kind of got to her level, I suppose.
Oh no.
Migs.
Migs! There's no way out. What are we gonna do?
We've come too far to let them stop us now. Those things have got to be armed.
It's no use. There's no way we can outmaneuver them. They're gonna shoot us down. We were so close.
Weapon systems on.
Locked on target. I got towed.
You were great, Eva.
Huh?
Thanks.
Huh. He didn't think to go on the radio and ask Zero to call them
Bulk
off.
19, this is Control. Stand by for a direct order from the chairman. Bulk 19, return to base immediately. Do you read me? This is a direct order from Comrade Khrushchev. Return to base immediately. Bulk 19, do you copy? Understood. Aborting mission. RTB.
Sweet. Makes sense.
Look! The MiGs are turning back! Woo!
Buzzkill. Metal Gear Solid staple.
Well done, Snake.
The MiGs disengaged.
Most likely under orders from Khrushchev.
Is this
Yep,
his way of
that's
helping
exactly
us?
what it was.
Who knows? Maybe he didn't want things to get messier than they already are. Or maybe he just wanted us to owe him one.
Ah,
Important thing is,
that's probably what
we
it
made
is.
it out alive. As long as Khrushchev is with us, I don't think they'll be coming after you. It should be smooth sailing all the way to Alaska. I'm sending someone out to Galena Base to meet you.
Alaska.
Meet me.
The DCI and the President himself are waiting at Langley. Don't keep them waiting.
Finally, we get the option to save. Not that it matters, because we don't really have to do anything now. It's all cutscene and credits to the end of the game. Is this song what I think it is?
going to do now? Go back to the KGB?
What do you want me to do?
Did you ever think about coming back to America?
I can't go back. I've left America behind me.
But you saved this country.
I didn't do it alone.
And I still owe you a dinner.
Ugh.
Is that part of your mission too? Or is it an order? Or is it an invitation? Or a proposal?
I knew she was gonna say that.
I don't take orders from anyone now.
It's not the same song I thought it was.
Open your heart and smile for me. You're not the only one afraid to fall in love. Dance with me.
So it's the same one for Black Metal Gear 2, but or Side 2, that is. Always happens. Damn it. Fuck it. You can hear it still beeping in the fire? Well, you could for a second there. That was hilarious. This is very much like... This reminds me of the Everything or Nothing ending of that James Bond movie. That's very ironic considering Major Zero has like a codec thing, and you save the game, and he starts talking about the James Bond movie because Paramedic brings it up, and he brings up From Russia with Love. So it's quite funny that I mentioned that, and Major Zero is like a James Bond buff. That's really ironic. And now it all comes
Scholars
out.
tell us that the first spy in history was the snake in the book of Genesis. In that story, it was Eve who was tempted by the snake in the Garden of Eden. But this time around, it was I who tempted the snake and got away with the forbidden fruit of knowledge. Forgive me, snake.
Good morning, Snake. I hope you slept well. First of all,
I have to apologize. I wasn't sent by Khrushchev. I'm not a KGB spy, and I never worked for the NSA.
I'm an agent of the People's Republic of China for the General HQ 2nd Department of the People's Liberation Army. It was all a lie. I tricked you. And I'm sorry.
The philosophers still exist in China, too. You see, my mission was to find out where Volgin was hiding the philosopher's legacy and steal it. So I infiltrated his base as a KGB spy. The two NSA codebreakers who defected in 1960 were actually both men.
Ah.
The real Adam never showed up at the meeting place, saving me the trouble of having to eliminate him. I sneaked in by pretending I was Eva.
And the real Adam knew that.
And you and Sokolov and Volgin, you all believed me. The Philosopher's legacy was originally held in common between the US, Soviet Union, and China. We couldn't let the Russians and the Americans take it all for themselves. The Chinese government had its eye on the legacy too. I got the film containing the legacy, and also the nuclear missile launch data from the Shagohod. 5 years ago, the Soviet Union stopped supplying us with nuclear weapons technology. Since then, China's Liaodong easing, hydrogen bomb, and space rocket projects have fallen behind. But with this data, our country will be able to develop its own nukes.
So it's pretty much an
We'll create
arms
a
race in a
deterrent force
way.
to rival those of the US and Soviet Union. Everything has gone according to plan, thanks to your help. I too am one of the Philosophers. I'm an agent of the Philosophers, a graduate of one of their charm schools. I was
That's
raised
actually
in a joint
legit,
US-Soviet
yeah.
Chinese facility to become a sleeper agent. This was before the war. Back then, they were collecting children from all over the world. As a result, I'm indistinguishable from a native-born American. So it didn't surprise me when you and Volgin couldn't tell the difference. But she knew right from the beginning. She
Yep.
knew because before the war, she was at one of the Philosopher's schools too, as an instructor.
Yep.
The boss was the only one I couldn't fool. She was the only one who knew I was a fake. She told me everything. Why did she open her heart to me like that? At the time, I couldn't understand it. But now, I think I do. Snake. She wanted you to know the truth. She chose me to tell you. That's why she saved my life.
Yep.
I've lied to you so many times, but not this time. My orders from the government were to obtain the legacy and to eliminate everyone who knew the truth about what happened. In other words, I'm supposed to kill you.
But I can't because of the overall plot.
But I can't do it. Not because we loved each other. And not because you saved my life.
But because Big Boss still has a role to play in the future of the series.
And I intend to keep it.
Okay, obviously. But yeah.
I just wanted you to know. And you have to live.
He does alright. This message will self-destruct immediately.
Snake, listen to me. She didn't betray the United States. No. Far from it. She was a hero who died for her country.
There's the
She
fox
carried out her mission
badge.
knowing full well what was going to happen. Self-sacrifice. Because that was her duty.
Damn it. He looks a bit like
You are above
Cars.
even the boss. I hereby award you the title of Big Boss. You are a true patriot.
No, I know the truth. I'm not doing that shit. Ah, this is the 16th, I guess I can.
You know, we could use an infiltration unit like Fox in the army. Someone like him to handle our top secret sneaking missions for us.
Huh.
A man who combines the qualities of a soldier and an agent.
The boss's defection was a ruse set up by the US government.
Yep.
It was all a big drama staged by Washington so they could get their hands on the philosopher's legacy. And the boss was the star of the show. They planned it so that they could get the legacy that Colonel Volgin inherited and destroy the Shagohod at the same time. Only a legendary hero like the boss could have earned Volgin's trust. Finding out where the philosopher's legacy was hidden was to be her greatest mission. Everything was going according to plan. But then something happened that no one could have predicted. Colonel Volgin fired an American-made nuclear warhead at Sokolov's research facility. Khrushchev demanded that the US government provide proof that it wasn't involved. They couldn't just abort the operation to steal the legacy. So the operation itself was greatly expanded and revised. The authorities in Washington knew that in order to prove its innocence, they'd have to get rid of the boss. And that one of their own would have to do the job. The public couldn't be allowed to find out about it. Not ever. This, they concluded, would be the best way to keep the whole thing under wraps.
Couldn't they have just, like...
The boss wouldn't be allowed to come back home alive. And she wouldn't be allowed to kill herself.
Oh.
Her life would be ended by her most beloved disciple. That was the way the government wanted it. That was the mission she was given. And she had no choice but to carry it out. Her death in your hands was a duty she had to fulfill. Out of duty,
I was gonna say, couldn't she fake her own death and go to the ground, but I guess
not. A lesser
not.
woman would have been crushed by such a burden. The taint of disgrace will follow her to her grave.
Yeah.
Future generations will revile her. In America as a despicable traitor with no sense of honor. And in Russia as a monster who unleashed a nuclear catastrophe.
Such
she
bullshit.
will go down in official history as a war criminal. And no one will ever understand her. That was her final mission. And like a true soldier, she saw it through to the end. But I think she wanted you, of all people, to know the truth. She wanted to live on in your memory. Not as a soldier, but as a woman. But she was forbidden to tell you herself. And that's why she told me.
Yeah.
Snake, history will never know what she did. No one will ever learn the truth. Her story, her debriefing, will endure only in your heart. Everything she did for her country. She sacrificed her life and her honor for her native land. She was a real hero. She was a true patriot.
Khrushchev is active in power and Brezhnev becomes the president. With Koizgun as premier. SIGINT joins ARPA, which will be DARPA. Development ARPANET, 1969. Eva disappears without a trace in Hanoi. Paramedic establishes the nation's first paramedic system in Seattle. Major Zero disbands Fox. This Fox unit, Big Boss establishes Foxtown. Yeah. Les Enfants Terribles Project, 1972. And in the middle of all of it, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero and Phantom Pain happen as well. I'll tell you something, Hideo Kojima knows how to write his endings. Yeah, it was all a ruse in the end. It's almost like Rykov has a voice, you don't really hear him. Cannibal Paul eating, that's because of the time paradox game overs. That's pretty cool. And obviously Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes aren't mentioned there because that's kind of the untold story. Huh. Yeah, I can see that, and I agree. Something just always puts me off playing MGS5. It doesn't feel like it ever got finished. Yeah, I understand that. Alright. So, as far as, putting Metal Gear games on my YouTube is concerned, that's pretty much it. I could do Peace Walker and MGS5, but I've never really been too fond of Peace Walker. Maybe I'll give it another shot sometime soon, but I can't really promise that. And like I just said to someone on my stream, because I was streaming the last few, like 3 sessions of this, MGS5 just, I don't know, something just always puts me off. It's like I've always said, this whole thing between Kojima and Konami just always puts me off, and apart from doing this and maybe a couple other things, I don't even know if I'll be playing another Konami game again after this. I just think the way they treated Kojima just wasn't right. I know I keep mentioning it, but you know, because he made that company, and I stand by that. I don't know whether I removed my original run for this game from my YouTube a long time ago, so I don't really know if I did better or not. I definitely did better at the boss, because that took me like 3 or 4 times to do, as opposed to just the twice that it took me that time. Yeah. The movie unit. I don't know why Kojima hasn't taken another stab at movies. He could definitely do them. I mean, in a way, when you really think about it, his games are movies. They're just movies that you play. So, and I'm very happy about that, to be honest. Yeah, so, and I say that because, I mean, if I do find some way of getting a PS3 and doing Metal Gear Solid 4, then I will certainly take that. I'm very surprised, to be honest with you. I am very surprised Metal Gear Solid 4 hasn't even been considered for a PS4 version. I am very surprised by that. But I guess Konami probably had their way in that as well. But even then, that's Kojima's own work. So, in theory, he should be able to do that whenever he wants, but Konami still has the Metal Gear license, which doesn't sit right with me. But yeah, with this, this officially puts every kind of Metal Gear game in chronological order apart from 5 on my YouTube back now, so... Obviously, Metal Gear Solid 4 and Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes will still be camera footage, which I know isn't the greatest, but that was what I had at the time. That was the limitations of my equipment at the time, so... They brought this back. That's freaking awesome. That is cool. Yeah, yeah, I don't really know what to say. This game oozes Kojima's greatness. I mean, the gameplay is... I like these games when you really think about it. This game was definitely the tougher in gameplay, but at least Kojima had the kind of thing to change the gameplay up every game. You know, he didn't make this. He didn't remake the same game more than once, and I think that's one of the beauties of the Metal Gear Solid series that he made. And seriously, Metal Gear Solid 4, if you haven't seen that ending, go frickin' see it. It's amazing, dude.
Yes, Grozny Grad and the Granin Research Facility have both been wiped out without a trace.
Mm-hmm. And you know who that is?
I understand, sir, but they were necessary sacrifices. Yes, the CIA has taken care of the boss themselves. I believe the White House will be satisfied. Khrushchev is finished. Your time has finally arrived. Yes, the American president is relying on us to keep a lid on the whole affair. We've got him by the balls. It should make a valuable trump card in future negotiations.
Is he talking to...
Yes, Chief Director, of course. I'll keep the KGB informed.
Fuck. I forget his name. Golukovich. Is he talking to Golukovich right now? Or is it turning out that he's talking to the president? I don't remember. Well, much of probably Golukovich wasn't even born.
Yes, it's me. The boss has accomplished her mission. The philosopher's legacy is now safely with us, in America's hands.
Huh.
With this money, yes, the philosophers can finally be revived.
So began Birth of the Patriots.
The film we handed the Chinese was a fake.
Huh.
Peking must be in an uproar right about now. I'm afraid so. Only half the money has made it back to the United States. The KGB must still have part of the legacy. Yes, the weapon has been reduced to ashes.
So he's a double agent, basically.
That's right. Grozny Grad has been obliterated by the Davy Crockett we brought in as well. Yes, that was the boss's work too. Speaking of which, I've obtained something from Granin that you might find interesting. It's a revolutionary new nuclear attack system. Perhaps it might just come in handy someday. Yes, we have Snake to thank for that. Khrushchev believed it as well. Yes, they bought our story. I don't think they'll be making a fuss. The secondary alert has been lifted as well. And the Soviets still haven't discovered my true identity. They have no idea that I've been triple-crossing them. I will continue my activities as a contact for the new government. Yes, it appears that no one knew that I was Adam.
I did.
Of course, I'm always at the CIA's disposal, Mr. Director.
So it's like he's a triple agent of some sort. Holy shit. Oh, Kojima. Like a boss. So, 12 hours, 16 saves, 25 continues. That's actually not bad. I thought I'd do worse. 105 alert phases because we just kept getting spotted at the end. 70 people killed that time. 85 seriously injured. 28 life bars of total damage. That's quite funny. 1 life medicine used the whole time, and that was the only one I ever picked up. 9 kinds of plants and animals. Meals eaten. 19 special item not used. Alright, I read it wrong. It's 9 plants and animals captured, 19 meals. Your title is Iguana. Approved by... I'm not sure what that says. We already had that. Oh, now you get to play with the Patriot again. Green face paint. Brown. National flags. Oh, of course, the tuxedo, yeah. D, PM, and OnScam desert camos. Unlock download camo. What? Desert tiger, Fleckling camo. And that's it. Save. And that, my friends, is it for the playthrough and the return to the channel for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Oh boy. Well, I hope I did better than my first run did. I can't remember it because it was such a while ago. But aside from that, yeah, there's not really much else to say. I still have Metal Gear Solid 5, and I still have Metal Gear... Well, I could rebuy Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, but apart from story, I've never really been keen on doing them. For various reasons, like I just explained in the credits. Maybe I have to, and maybe I will someday. But, right now, day of recording is like 11th of January going into the 12th. So probably when this final video for the playthrough goes up, Resident Evil 2 will pretty much be just around the corner, and that's going to be the next playthrough going up. After that, I don't know. We'll have to talk through it. But I'm not going to make any assumptions or promises of anything apart from Resident Evil 2, because when I normally do that, it never really works out. So, but yeah, Metal Gear Solid is, apart from 5 and Peace Walker, finally fully back on the channel, as in terms of the games I already did. I didn't do 5 or Peace Walker, and I don't know if I will. Maybe I have to a degree, to get the whole story, but I think Metal Gear Solid 4, in a way, told us all the story we needed to know. So, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see what comes up later this year. There is a couple other games I'm picking up as well, so But when I do it and upload it, you will obviously see it, and that is how it will go. And that's how it probably best goes for me, because it's better that way, I guess. Alright guys, so in terms for this YouTube playthrough, I am done, and on to more newer stuff, I suppose, with Resident Evil 5 pretty much just around the corner when you see this eventually. Hope you enjoyed watching as I enjoyed playing. I really enjoyed it this time around, knowing what I was doing, which is kind of like much better than the very first time I played this. Like I said, I don't really know my original run's stats because I removed that playthrough a long time ago to be replaced with this one. I feel I did slightly better. I definitely did better at a lot of the boss fights. I think it was more just getting caught in the bases. I did much better at the boss fights, I know that much. I mean, the boss, like I said at the end, took me like 4 attempts in my first playthrough, so to only have it die once at that boss fight was actually impressive. So I think overall I did much better at the boss fights, and as you saw, the food wasn't really a thing. It only really became a thing for Eva at the end. So the ways Kojima changed the game actually worked. But when I initially played this game, I was initially worried about eating the food and everything, but it's very simple. So yeah. And I think in terms of Kojima's games, this is the last Metal Gear I will ever do in terms of the Kojima side of things, because Metal Gear Solid 5, a lot of people would probably say that it wasn't really his game, and I agree. But that's another subject for a different group of people, I suppose. So, alright everyone, on the YouTube side, I am pretty much done. I will see you most likely for Resident Evil 2's remake. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, this return to Metal Gear Solid 3, as much as I enjoyed returning to it myself. I will see you in the next playthrough. Peace out guys, take care, and as always, stay awesome.